Gaby Miketta. I'm the editor-in-chief of this magazine, 1.1 million copies per month. So if you want to have a look at this later, here we go. So, Matt, we have a discussion or a talk. Well, I guess we have some points to discuss about connected home. Matt was the co-founder of Nest and chief product officer. So the products you were responsible for. The mechanical design to software to web services, everything. The creator of Nest Learning Semester. We have to see what that is. And prior to Nest, he was has been responsible for iPod software and iPhone. So the new headline for that talk is From Phone to Home. Connected devices have entered millions of homes, and I know all these questions people are asking me. If you have a home, you are thinking about, well, how do I do this? Can I, start with a smart home? And is it, good for the next 10 years? These questions are, important for everybody. So what's the plan? What makes Nest so special? Matt, there are dozens of companies, at least, I would say, around the world. China, here in Germany too. They wanted to launch, or already have launched, their connected home products successfully. So what makes Nest so special?
So Nest is the leader of the space. We're the #1 connected home brand, and we're an end-to-end company. We focus on the entire user experience from when you go to buy it, get it installed, install it yourselves, how it's installed, the packaging, all the way through the screws and how you get the devices on the wall, to the user experience, how you use it every day with the apps, on your phone, on your watches, on your TVs, or through your voice. So we're really focused on the end-to-end experience and doing it in a way that brings people in. Because this is honestly a new market. Like we talk about the connected home, the smart home is here. I mean, it's really a ways away. This is really about how can we build great products to solve real home problems. And with those products, how can we start to create the market and get this thing going?
So we do not talk about the fridge who is telling you, buy milk.
Yeah, we were joking backstage about connected fridges that tell you to buy milk or connected hairbrushes that tell you have a nice hairdo. Those are not the kind of things that we're focused on at Nest. We're focused on those core problems, things you face every day, like energy, safety, security, kind of the fundamentals of the home.
What would you say, what is the important issues for the winner of that battle of all the companies who are trying to get into connected home business?
So it's a few areas, honestly. In order to win in the category, I think you need to have amazing design. It's folks' homes. People spend time and money and attention on furniture and the fixtures in the home and all the details. But why are all these other products overlooked? So design is really important. I think machine learning is critical. And based on the previous talk, there's still a lot of work to be done there. But in order to really adapt products for people's lives, machine learning will be a key technology. I think a differentiator that everyone will need. And I think finally, scale is important. This is an area where products live for a very long time. When you buy thermostats and smoke alarms, security devices, you install them, they last 5 to 10 years. They last a lot longer than smartphones. So in order to win in this category, you need to have scale and stamina to be able to last and to support those devices for a very long time.
Normally, people who are not engineers probably, they would say, well, I want it as easy as possible. And, 10 minutes to install that whole system, plug and play, that is nice. Normally, it's not that easy. Why?
The reality is a lot of these devices are built by small startups, and the engineers are thinking about, how can we get this product to market really quickly? How can we get the company going? And less concerned about how we build the best experience and how we build something that's going to last a very long time. So in Nest, we're very methodical. We go piece by piece to make sure each product is well supported and is achieving its market potential before we go on to move on to the next thing.
My feeling is intelligent control, or let's say the integrated control, is a central goal. Who will be the universal controller who is integrating all the different systems you have, from light, from heating, from shutters, from appliances in the household, whatever it is. you don't want 10 different apps or devices.
I think the reality is we're going to be a very long time away from that. Based on where the current market is, you have companies like Nest and others, companies like Philips or Bosch or Siemens who have amazing products in their category. And I think we're still a ways away from all these products being integrated together. And frankly, consumers need a lot of choice, especially given how early this market is. We need a plethora of products and experiences. So bringing everything together, I still think is probably 3 to 5 years away.
Okay. Would you agree that the biggest business today is security?
Ooh, I think it depends on the market. Security, for us, is one of our highest growth categories. But I think what we've seen, at least from our own data, is that energy is still critical. And especially given kind of world climate goals, the rising cost of energy around the world, everyone wants to save. Not just people who own their homes and live there every day and are spending thousands on utility bills, but also the utility companies want to save, and there's regulations around that. So there's a push and a pull in the market, which is helping us drive even more.
What about the differences in the US market and the European, or especially German market?
So for what we've seen, especially in the energy space, in America, people want to save, but they want to kind of do it on their own time, and they don't want to be forced into it. What we're seeing in our European markets is that actually people are much more into saving, and they're much more energy conscious, and they actually remember to turn things down when they leave and turn things off when they leave. It's a much more active user, and actually they're much more active around saving, whereas Americans are a little more lazy.
Okay. What kind of challenge for your business is Alexa?
Amazon's a huge partner, actually. So Amazon's one of our largest retailers, as well as actually our largest Works with Nest integration. So we launched Works with Nest about 2 years ago, and we've got 26,000 developers. Our single largest developer by number of active accounts is Amazon with Alexa. And our second largest, ironically, is Google with Google Home.
Okay. Where do you have corporations? In China, in Europe? Where cooperations with other companies?
Yeah, so actually all across the world. I think predominantly we have pretty large mass in the US, but actually in Europe actually we have quite a number of large partners, as I mentioned, like Bosch and Siemens in Germany, like quite large, and more coming.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan? That's the title. Let's talk about the future of voice control. Is that a topic?
I think so. So it gets a lot of attention these days, and if you paid attention to the CES press, that was kind of the hot topic du jour. In my opinion, voice control is a great way of interacting with your home, but there's others, right? Like sometimes you want to use your phone, and that's the right tool for the job, but it's not always the right tool for the job. Sometimes, like when watching large videos with our security cameras, the TV is a better way of doing it. And watching your 2 or 3 video streams on a TV at 1080p is incredible. And for some things, voice is better. Like you're sitting on the couch and you're cold. Just say, "Hey Google, I'm cold." It's a much easier way of doing it than going and take your phone out and going through the controls.
So let's talk about problems. Too many different standards, too complicated sometimes to integrate other systems, not comfortable enough for the user. Are these 3 the main problems right now?
So my philosophy on this is we're trying to hide the technology from our consumers. Like honestly, I don't think people care what wireless protocols things use and what technologies are in things. No one should have to worry about that. That's the job of the companies and the engineers to figure out. And when I think about what we've built with Works with Nest, pretty much any company can work with Nest. It doesn't matter what technology you use. And I think that's really important because the reality is this market is moving so quickly that you want these products to have lasting, staying power. And being able to integrate and work together without having to change the technology every year or 2 is required. You're not going to go in your home and change products out every year or 2. It's just not going to happen.
Well, one problem is privacy and security for the user, for the homeowner. Last year, in October, there had been a website attack where smart home devices had been involved. Well, you don't want to have all the security stuff around and then kind of open door, software open door. You don't want that.
Yeah, the Mirai attack that you mentioned from last year, honestly is obvious. And this is like one of those things, like, folks from the industry, people who are familiar with security, this is like, security 101. It's like the first thing they teach you in security school is you don't have default passwords and logins available for your products when you ship them. It just doesn't make any sense. So at Nest, when we think about security, is not an afterthought. It's part of the design process, just like the look and feel of our product. It goes into how we build it, the protocols we use. We make sure everything is encrypted and authenticated. And then even afterwards, we do continuous testing and audits. We do pen testing, and we even have third parties, including Google, do external audits of our systems. And don't even tell us. Just tell us if you find things, and we'll fix them quickly. I mean, the key to security, honestly, is moving fast. The industry changes quickly, and people make mistakes. It happens. It's more important to be able to find things when they're out there, and when they're found, respond quickly. Update software, update your servers, and push software out over the air to your devices. I mean, this is an industry that is going to move fast, and without things like over-the-air software update, honestly, we're all in big trouble.
And how many people who are working for Nest are responsible for these security problems or issues?
So it's a function that all of our software engineers share. It's just like design. Everyone's responsible for design. Everyone's responsible for security. It can't be kind of a bolt-on you put on the end. That said, there are specific teams that do things like audits and pen testing, and we keep those teams separate.
For me, connected home means, at the end, a lot of personal details of your life is available. Do we really want that? Did the smart home digital glass home?
I don't believe so. I mean, our belief at Nest and our philosophy since the beginning is, we're invited into the home, and we have to earn that trust. And if that trust is broken, we may never be able to invite it back in. So it's about keeping people in control of their data and being very transparent about how data is used. When we do collect data, it's about being very thoughtful about how that data is used. We don't share the data without the user's permission. And when we do use the data, we provide value to the user, either through our learning algorithms or through things like our energy report, where we tell you about your energy usage. It's very, very important to keep people in control of their data and allow them to delete it at any time, for example. It's theirs to control.
And what about the data overlap between Google and Nest?
So, as I mentioned, Google is our second largest Works with Nest partner, but we treat them just like any other Works with Nest partner. So if you choose to link your Nest account and your Google account for a certain reason, like using Google Home, we tell you exactly what data is going to be shared. For example, your home and away state and why it's going to be shared. So you could tell Google Home that you're leaving. And if you want to break the link, you could do that anytime. Again, the home is a sensitive place. We want to treat it that way.
I guess there's many investors in here who want to know, please share your learnings with us. What is your advice for investors in the smart home business?
Focus on scale. I'd say there's a lot of cool ideas out there, but honestly, ideas are easy. Ideas are cheap. Execution and scale is hard. And if anything, kind of lessons learned from Nest from the last year or two is that we have to focus on scale. It's a very big difference between just doing a startup and having a few 100,000 customers and having millions of customers around the world.
And what is your advice for homeowners?
Advice for homeowners is find products that fit your life, that solve problems that you face every day. Don't just buy things because you think they may look cool and they may be a fad. Buy things that you use every day and you get a lot of utility out of.
We have 4 more minutes. We can probably, you can ask some questions. My point at the end is smart home is a kind of, disruptive challenge for 100-years-old brands. We all know these brands, but still Nest created, I read, a new screwdriver. Why that? Yeah,
so again, we focus on that end-to-end experience. And for folks who are buying the product for the first time, we want to make sure that they're having such an amazing experience that they tell their friends about it, that we allay their fears that the installation was hard. I mean, that focusing on the end-to-end, I believe, is critical. And it's one of the things that I learned from Apple that we did incredibly well, and it's led to the success of Apple over the last decade. And I hope that more companies learn it.
And you were searching for a special voice too, so it's the hardware and voice control on the other hand?
I think it's all these things together. It's not enough just to have great hardware or just to have great software, a great app, or have great voice control. You have to have all these things working together. I think it's one of the most important things, especially for your home, to have it fit in your life as opposed to have you kind of work around the technology. I mean, we see this all too often. We interview a lot of people in their homes and learn how they live. And what we've learned is a lot of times people are working around technology as opposed to the technology fitting into their own life.
So, question about security, about privacy, about the business. How big is the business?
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. So we're at the point now where we're 5 years old, and we've been growing more than 50% year over year, every year. And we're currently in 7 countries around the world, and today are actually available now in 4 more. So we're available now in Germany, Austria, Spain, and Italy, starting today on pre-order on both our website and many others. Retail, insurance companies, energy companies. So for us, our business is quite strong, and we're again achieving scale. We've achieved scale in the US in millions of homes and now taking our product to more European countries.
Is Europe the second biggest market for you?
Yeah, actually,
or Germany?
Honestly, we see Germany as our second largest market.
Okay.
It's one of the strongest economies in the world, and there's a lot of opportunity to bring smart home technology to Germany.
So questions?
To the service, does it make sense that you are offering something like, I want to build a house and I go to Nest first, and Nest gets in contact with the proper architect or builder, and that really builds the connected house in any kind of level I want that?
Yeah, actually, so we actually have a team at Nest called our professional team, and they work directly with installers, architects, designers around the world. It's actually one of our highest growth categories, is working directly with home builders and architects and designers. It's doing quite well for us.
I mean, it's quite easy if you build a new house. If you, get an older one, it's a little bit more difficult, right?
Yeah, retrofits. I mean, today most of our business is retrofit. To be honest, new home starts is only as big as it is, and we've actually had to do specific product design and engineering to make sure we work in existing homes, because everyone's systems are different, every home is different, and compatibility was the largest item we had to face and circum in order to really scale.
Other questions? Well, I would say let's get connected.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.